Alright, so I'm back. My name is Rachel Parker, and I'm just here to share with you a painting session. And I'm going to try to explain what I do as I go along. What I'm going to do is just add yet another layer of texture to the cat's face. And I want to develop the cat's left side of his face. So right here, this is the area I want to work on. I want to get some texture in there. I want to show some fur. So I'm going to take my favorite fur brush, which is that, because it has little hairs on the end that make great texture for fur. I'm going to take a light cream consistency of black and ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And you may ask, well, Rach, why don't you just use black if you're painting black fur? Well, black paint, different paints have different properties. And black paint, when you use black paint just by itself, it comes out looking very flat and dull. And flat and dull is boring. So when you use a little bit of color in there, like the ultramarine blue and the burnt sienna, it helps it have a little bit more of an alive color. It looks, because if you look at most blacks, like for instance when I look at this black, I don't see just black, I see highlights of blue, highlights of whatever's reflecting in the black. So it's never a flat black in reality. So you never want to use, or rarely, sometimes you do, but you really want to use just a flat black in your paintings because it'll just suck the life out of them. Okay? So I'm going to add a bit of blue to my black. You can use some black because the black is a nice heavy paint and it covers well. But it'll look really flat if you just use it alone. So I'm just going to study my picture very carefully. You want to frequently look back at your picture to make sure that you're painting what you see and not what you think you see. That's an easy thing to forget when you get into painting, and then you get lost in it, and then all of a sudden you look at the real picture and you've lost your way. It's like looking at your picture frequently is like a map. And of course you want to have artistic license. You want to make the painting your own. But at the same time, you also want to make sure you're not losing the spirit of what you're trying to capture. So it is important. Like the texture of this fur, it really helps me to keep looking at the picture to make sure that I'm getting the direction of the hair right. And it is always open to interpretation. You just have to decide as an artist, that's the work of the artist, is to look at the picture and decide, what do I want to capture here? How do I best capture that? So that is achieved by both looking frequently at your picture, but also keeping in mind the bigger picture of what you're trying to create as an artist. And underneath this layer, I put a lighter blue. And so I'm making sure that that lighter blue underlayer is shining through to indicate that light is shining on this cat's fur. You don't want to cover up the underlayer because, not completely anyway, because you want to have bits of the underlayer shining through, especially where the light hits the fur. It just gives it more character and it makes it seem more alive. Being careful to make sure that I get the grain of the fur right. And that necessitates looking frequently at the picture, because sometimes it's not intuitive. Sometimes it's counterintuitive. So look at your picture and make sure that you're going where you want to go with your painting. that's it for this session. I would like to invite you to visit my website, www.rachelstudio.com. There's two S's in the middle of that. www.rachelstudio.com. You're welcome to email me. I do provide online classes, and I'd be glad to critique your painting and give you suggestions. So I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you so much.